The election season is here. The economy is not doing well. Crime is all over the place. And insecurity has led to several other problems. People in Nigeria are talking about having to make difficult choices in the way they feed their families. And the government is not stepping in to get them out of a tight corner. I am Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera correspondent. And between us, I've never seen so much disappointment and frustration directed at politicians. I'm worried about what the future holds for this country. When the registration or re-registration of voter exercise began, we saw a lot of enthusiasm among Nigerians, especially the younger generation. But what we expect to see is that the number of people coming out to vote will be much higher than what we've seen in the last 4 years, simply because of the rate of frustration among Nigerians.
We are all angry, we are all annoyed, we are hungry.
You're looking at several problems the country is facing. The biggest is security. We've visited several villages, people who've been displaced by bandits, as the Nigerian government calls them. We've seen thousands of people who've been killed by these bandits and thousands who've been kidnapped for ransom. One woman was telling me that she has spent about 10 days in the bush eating grass for the whole 10 days to sustain herself. And in the process, she has lost a lot of family members. Well, the economy is in a tailspin. Nigeria lost its position as Africa's biggest oil producer simply because of oil theft. The oil company of Nigeria announced that it was losing 450,000 barrels of oil per day, and that they have discovered pipelines that were tapping on main export pipelines that take crude oil to sea. Many Nigerians think that this cannot happen without the active connivance of government officials. The drop in the revenue from oil is affecting Nigeria's ability to import food and other materials into the country. The National Bureau of Statistics was talking about 20% inflation rate. Nigeria is currently struggling to pay its debt. Some people are cutting down on the number of meals they give to their families. Some people are looking at cutting down the quality of food they eat simply because they can't afford. What I find interesting about this region is the resilience of people here. We went to one internally displaced persons camp in Maiduguri, and I was looking for water, and I was telling my colleague that I'm really hungry. Before I knew it, one of the displaced persons went into his tent, brought out some food, and offered me food, when he is, in fact, the person who needed it most. It was difficult for me. It was emotional, and basically these images or situations I will live with for a very long time. It's really humbling.
We promise to live by our promises.
There is a sort of frustration that we are not going to get any further than where we are today with the crop of politicians. A lot of people expected new breed politicians to come. And what we see right now is among the top 4 contenders, all of them at one point or the other have been in politics in Nigeria since the country's return to democracy in 1999. Talk to political analysts, they will tell you that the political process is skewed to favor those in power, the rich and the powerful. Right now in Nigeria, you have to have hundreds of millions of dollars to run for president. The problems are so great that to try to start addressing the basics will be so difficult for whoever is coming into office after President Muhammadu Buhari. I think the future looks a little bit tougher than many Nigerians think, simply because right now Nigeria doesn't have the money, the industrial base is weak, agricultural production is not even up to scratch. So unless these issues are addressed, the future looks bleak for many people. So that's my fear about this country.